I think this will work out. So I don't have pictures for their whole life story thus far, but I do have ways to show how they started. So these, there's actually still seeds in here because I only planted 2 of them. But this is the habanero seeds that I planted. I planted them in 2 of these. You fill them with water, they swell up. The Jiffy pellets. These. I have a whole bunch more. Lots more. Because I only want to grow a couple of things at a time. And since they're still growing, they've flowered a number of times, they haven't fruited yet. So they started alone in the tray that's meant to hold a dozen until they sprouted up and were too tall to be lidded in this tiny little greenhouse thing. From there, they each got their own individual cleaned out sour cream container. This is a 1-pound container, so compared to my hand, you can see how big that is. They got potted in these. From these, they went into the 2-pound yogurt tubs. When I needed to repot them again, that's when I start having pictures.
These are the pictures that I have of the 2 Hababies, starting with the larger one and going to the smaller one from October 22nd. You can see little buds of new leaves and potentially the first starter flowers, but the containers they have in these are a 1-gallon ice cream tub. I was reusing containers that I had around the house anyway, because it's what made sense. These are the larger and then the smaller Hababies in those same pots on November 25th, a little over a month after those first pictures were taken. You can see that the smaller one has always been smaller, but is still doing well. And these are the larger and then smaller Hababies on January 26th when they got repotted into their, again, larger and now current pots. The larger one was much taller, and it still is, but again, the smaller one's been healthier all along, and they were finally big enough that they warranted a side-by-side comparison.
And now, this is the taller one, and its stalks are kind of listing to one side a bit. But because sunlight pulls them. But that's that one. And the smaller one, that has always been smaller, is still, you know, a nice, decent, robust size. And this is not a full-grown one, but a tiny little bud, or piece of a flower, I should say. It's not a bud of one. These are buds of ones. They have these tiny little white flowers, and they're supposed to be self-pollinating, meaning just a lightest of breeze should be enough to get them to actually do their thing, but I haven't seen that happen yet, though with how much they've grown since the first time they started flowering, I don't know that they had the resources to actually fruit at that size. With how big they've gotten, maybe now they could actually support it. I'll find out.